Open House started in 1992 because we wanted to show the public the architecture of London and wanted to show how it's important to look at your city through its architecture and to have a conversation about your city's architecture. The open house, as I said, started in 1992, and it is just a local event, but we're 8 million people in London. But in fact, many of volunteers who are in London went back to their own city and their own country and said, could I also start an open house? So the first one was in New York. Actually, after the 9/11 catastrophe, wanted to have an open house to show New York was open to society. An open house seemed to be the best way of describing this. And from there, it was quiet again, but then people in 2006, other cities started to say they would like to have open house. So year on year, it's expanded, and now it's about 5 new cities a year. So we now have 42 cities in the family. Well, Buenos Aires, actually they found out about it because they'd been to Barcelona. So you get the Spanish connection coming through. They thought it'd be really good to bring it to the first city in South America that would have an open house. So Argentina has been the first country to have open house. And Buenos Aires was 4 or 5 years ago, and I came to launch that too, and found incredible architecture as well as very nice people. And there's a connection between Rosario and Buenos Aires, and actually Rosario and Barcelona again. So Barcelona often becomes the catalyst for the Spanish group. And so now we have 2 cities in Argentina. And I think again it's showing the architecture, the old and the new. And it's important to actually talk about just good architecture, not the age of the architecture. And for open house, it's about the quality, not whether it's old or new, whether I like old or I don't like new. It's just about let's look at architecture and see what makes a good quality city. To date, obviously I've just arrived and getting to know the city. It takes a while to understand a city, and again open house gives you a very quick way of getting to know a city and its people, in fact, because open house is about people and buildings. It's not just the inanimate, it's very animate with people talking, discussing, saying what they like, what they don't like. And this will happen in Rosario in the same way, that people will challenge each other about what they think they like, and then they will see something and they will say, oh, actually I didn't think I would like that, but now I've seen it in the flesh, as we call it, the real thing. Now I really appreciate and I like that. I think it's important to always think of open house as a very local, it's about the inhabitants of the city. One of the values are to show good architecture, it has to be free, so it is for everybody, no one's excluded from open house. It is for the citizens of Rosario to actually go out and enjoy their city for 48 hours and get to know it. And it's then you have this conversation about it now and in the future. So I think for me, every time I see an open house, it's how people will now start to think about their city and discuss it and engage in it for not just now, but also for its future and actually generations to come. So I think that is the exciting thing also about open house. It starts a big conversation about your city and what you want from your city.